Oh Lord, that AC popped on and that is loud. Whatever with that. What's going on YouTube? Bam. I got something I really want to talk about, and we're going to get real professional with it. I want to go ahead and get a lot of disclaimers out of the way. I'm getting my thoughts off my chest. This is how I feel. I don't care how you feel. I don't care how anybody feels. This is how I feel about this whole situation. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and explain how Drake actually won this beef against Kendrick Lamar. Let's get into it. Okay, we're gonna start at the simple fact that in order for Kendrick to have charted the way he charted, he literally needed Drake to do that. The same thing with the Future and Metro Boomin album, they needed Drake. You take shots at the King, and when you took the shots at the King, that got everybody's ears perked up to listen to you. Kendrick does have a die-hard loyal fan base, be as though they're very freaking toxic. They worse than Drake fan base. And might I mind you, I'm a fan of both artists. I am quite literally a fan of both artists. Do I like one more than the other? Yes, I like Drake leaps and bounds more than I like Kendrick. But I don't have a problem with Kendrick. My biggest problem with Kendrick is that ass voice he be doing. I cannot stand that voice. That voice pisses me off when I just want to hear this motherfucker rap. Like, just rap, Kendrick, just rap. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to change your voice when you rapping, because that it really like makes it sound disgusting to me. At least that's how I feel. Moving on. Who's the better artist? Drake. And that may come as a shocker to a lot of people, but I still think Drake is the better artist. Allow me to go down the list as to why. No, I'm not gonna use numbers and all of that as, oh, Drake is better than Kendrick because he always sells better than Kendrick. No, I'm gonna use the simple fact that Drake has this one thing Kendrick don't have, and it's called staying power. Now, I'm gonna tell you what I mean by staying power. Drake and Kendrick can drop an album. They're both gonna sell phenomenal. You know, Drake is always gonna do over 500,000 when he does a record. I mean, I think the last record he did was under 500,000, it was like 400,000. And his first dance record, the album Honestly Nevermind, that was a dance album, and that still sold. But then, okay, now let's take Kendrick for instance. I don't remember the first week numbers for Certified Lover Boy. I'm gonna put them on the screen somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm putting the Certified Lover Boy numbers right here. And then we're gonna take Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers and put those numbers right here. If I'm not mistaken, Certified Lover Boy collapsed that album by leaps and bounds. And not to mention, they came out the same year. And if I'm not mistaken, when Kendrick dropped that album, he dropped that album after Drake dropped Certified Lover Boy. However, Certified Lover Boy is actually the better album. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, whatever the name of the album is, that has to have been the worst Kendrick album of all time. Like, if I was to rate Kendrick albums, it would be like Good Kid, Mad City, Section 80, Damn, To Pimp a Butterfly, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers literally at the bottom. That's the worst. And a lot of people will be like, oh, it's blasphemous to have To Pimp a Butterfly so low. To Pimp a Butterfly is really an ass album, if you're asking me. Like, I don't care for that album. My favorite album of all time by Kendrick would have to be Good Kid, Mad City. We're not about to get into all of that. Let's get back to what I'm really talking about though. So how Drake won this beef is a simple fact that everyone's career excelled because of his name. So all of y'all needed his name to excel past what y'all once were. Like, here's a big thing. When it comes down to the diss tracks between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, the best diss track from Kendrick quite literally is Euphoria. His first track is the best track. Meet the Grams, horrible, very fucking horrible. And then on top of that, you got the nerve to be like, Drake, you got a daughter and she's 11. That's why I made the album Mr. Morale. I'm like, nigga, did you really fucking fact check that shit? I'm gonna bring up a real valid point about that, and y'all don't have to believe me. I don't care. Fight me and you're gonna lose. I don't give a damn who you are. Pusha T, not Pusha, Pusher T. Pusha T released a diss track called The Story of Addie Dawn a few years ago. Probably about 5 years ago now. No, 6 years ago, I wanna say. I don't know, it was a while ago. I don't remember when it was leaked. But he released a diss track on Drake, exposing the fact that Drake had a son. He exposed Adonis to the world. Why the fuck wouldn't he expose the little girl too? If this was actual true news and he had proof that Adonis existed, how the hell wouldn't he have proof that that little girl exists too? There's no way she was kept under wraps the way Adonis was. Like, it makes no sense. And then at the time, Pusha T was saying that 40 was pillow talking with a bitch and told her that Drake had a son, and she told me. Nigga, that's not what fucking happened. Drake previewed a track to Kanye West, and it was a dedication track to his son on the Scorpion album, and Kanye West told you that Drake had a son. That's literally how that went. That's how that went. That's how it went. You remember, because Drake had just finished his contract with Jordan Brand, and you was like, and he was actually about to sign to Adidas. This is a funny thing. He was about to sign to Adidas until that shit happened, and then that's when we became Check Silver Stripes. And I've always been Check Silver Stripes. I do not like Adidas shoes at all. I mean, I will get a pair of shell toes. I would buy some of the Yeezys back in the day. I won't buy them today because of who Kanye is. Like, I really don't like Kanye West as a person. So it's kind of hard to separate the art from the artist when you're dealing with Kanye West, at least. Like, you can separate the art from the artist with a lot of other people. But then when you're dealing with Kanye, you're blurring the line when you separate the art from the artist. Another person who I can't separate the art from the artist from is R. Kelly. I can't separate the art from the artist, but then it gets like, I'm more leaning toward like, I will listen to R. Kelly. Shit, he ain't touching me or none of my peoples, and he got some really, really, really beautiful music. But it gets kind of hard to listen to R. Kelly when you just know that all he's doing is kids. So back to the beat. Kendrick, you make a diss track. It was a whole bunch of hip hop glazers on the internet talking about Drake and Kendrick made the song First Person Shooter, and that First Person Shooter, they're talking about the three kings of hip hop, which at the end of the day, it is a big three in hip hop. It's always going to be a big three. It's a big three in anime, a big three in cartoons. It's a big three in hip hop. And the big three for the generation of now has always been Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar. But then you hop on like that and say, motherfuck the big three, nigga, it's just Big Me. I do like that part. But you hop on like that and you say that shit, and it's like, I ain't lying, this nigga spitting. But then you hop on like that and you say that, right? And you know, your whole verse on like that was responding basically to J. Cole, because it really wasn't a response to Drake, because Drake wasn't saying nothing in First Person Shooter when it came down to you. It was Cole who name dropped you, and then it wasn't even a diss. He was like, they keep talking about the big three. Is it Kendrick, Aubrey, or me, or something like that? He never even threw shade at you. And you know, then we got the song Evil Ways, which was a song that came after. I want to say Joe Budden is the reason Scary Hours 3 exists. I have to say it. You know, Drake came with Scary Hours 3 just straight spitting bars. I'm sorry. Stories about my brother. Chef kiss. Red Button. Chef kiss. Like, oh my gosh. Evil Ways. Chef kiss. You Broke My Heart. That whole, all 6 of those tracks are just straight bangers to me. But every time Drake releases the Scary Hours, it's always a banger. Kendrick, your whole like that verse was a response to the First Person Shooter track. And you know, Evil Ways had already been out, because you know, Drake and Kendrick had done released 2 tracks before Like That came. Like That came on that trash ass Metro Boomin album. Like, the Kendrick verse made the album so hot. Can we all finally agree that that album with Future was hot shit? I listened to the album, and it's only one song I legit like on the album, and it's called Everyday Hustle. That song Future has with Rick Ross. The beat is beautiful. Like, the beat is beautiful. I'm sorry, the beat is just beautiful. Like, ooh, if I could play that without risking a fucking copyright strike, I would have that playing in the background right now. I don't know what music I'm gonna have as background music, but that would be the background music. And another thing, like, okay, so I'm gonna get this out of the way before I even talk about the diss tracks in general. BBL Drizzy, that beat day. I'm not gonna lie, I am a Drake fan to the core, but that BBL Drizzy beat is freaking gas. And if I can play it without risking a copyright strike, I'm gonna play it. Like, I'm I had to get the BBL Drizzy beat out of the way, the whole BBL Drizzy thing out of the way. And the reason why I got that out of the way early is because I remember Sexy Red released a track on her new album, and it was called You My Everything with Drake. And Drake actually hops on the BBL Drizzy beat, right? And completely rips it. They knew nobody, they hitted me, BBL Drizzy, they needed nobody, they asked me for a junk, no junk, he did it for free, cause I sent him so many past him, girl, but red, don't even worry about all of that shit. Like, Drake murked that BBL Drizzy beat, like straight up. But then I'm on the internet, right? Cause I saw it on Twitter first. I didn't even like, I don't listen to Sexy Red. Like, he should listen to Sexy Red. Oh God, that shit annoys the fuck out of me when she does that. But she actually listens to Sexy Red. But she's a girl, so okay, whatever. Like, she listens to the majority of those girls, right? Don't talk about her. Okay, come here. Don't talk about her. That's booty. But a lot of people is like, Drake hopping on the BBL Drizzy beat is him essentially waving the white flag. How? Matter of fact, in my honest opinion, him hopping on the BBL Drizzy beat is equivalent to giving you the freaking middle finger. That's equivalent to giving you the middle finger. Not only did he give you the middle finger by using that BBL Drizzy beat, but it was stated that Drake came out and flat out said, we're not paying Metro for that. And there's nothing Metro Boomin can do about it. Moving forward, let's get into the diss tracks. And again, so like that came out. You know, Academics was counting down when Drake would respond, I think. On Twitter, yeah. He was definitely counting down when Drake would respond on Twitter. I would show the tweets, but Academics post like 30 tweets a day, so I'm not about to just be scrolling. When Drake was done with the "It's All a Blur, Bigger Than What It Is" tour, he responded immediately with a track called Push-Ups. And I know y'all know that I can never be nobody #1 fan. The way you doing splits, bitch, your pants might rip. Your last one brick. You really not on shit. You make excuses for you cause they hate to see me lit. Put a contract cause we gotta see the splits. The way you doing splits, bitch, your pants might rip. But man, look, oh my God, Drake was filthy on that track. Oh, fuck. Oh, I might take your latest girl and cuff her like I'm Ricky. Can't believe he jumping in this nigga turning 50. Every song that made it to the chart, he got from Drizzy. Spend a little check, you gotta stay about my business, nigga. Shout out to the hooper that be busting out the gritty. Oh my God, Drake was filthy on Push-Ups. Oh man, I am almost willing to risk the copyright strike just to play Push-Ups. Push-Ups was a straight deadly assault on everybody on that damn album. It wasn't even just the Like That track. It was the album. And the next thing you know, we get the Tailor Made Freestyle, which by the way, is my literal second favorite diss out of all of the disses between these niggas. I think it's 4 apiece. Out of all of the disses between these two, the Tailor Made Freestyle has to be my second favorite diss. Like if I was to rank these disses, like if I was to literally rank these disses, it would go Push-Ups, Tailor Made Freestyle, then Like That. And I'm sitting here listening to it like, bruh, he's literally making fun of you. It's not even him like full blown dissing. He was like quite literally making fun of you. And also Tupac Past made it even better for me because if you actually look into the making of the track, when Drake was sending the verses over to get him dubbed as Pac and Snoop, you could hear it in his voice that he was actually he was channeling them boys as he was rapping like them. Kendrick, we need ya. The West Coast savior. They engraving your name in some hip hop history. If you dealt with this viciously, you seem a little nervous about all the publicity. Fuck this Canadian light skin dot. We need a no debating West Coast victory, man. Call him a bitch for me. Like, yo, that Pac was crazy. And that sounded like a Pac verse. I swear it sounded like a Pac verse. Like, if Pac was alive, Pac would have wrote that verse. Like, that's my opinion. I don't care how y'all feel. Again, come fight me. I'll beat you up. Then we get to the Snoop Dogg verse. And Snoop sounded way more disappointed than Pac. Like, bruh, Snoop sounded so disappointed. He was so freaking disappointed. Snoop just can't. You can just imagine him just coming and sitting down in front of Kendrick like that day when he was talking to nephew. What the fuck you really about to do? Snoop was disappointed in Kendrick. Like he was disappointed in K-Dot now. And then he even went into it. Passed you the torch at the House of Blues and now you gotta do some dirty work. You know how to move, right? But it was so vicious. Like, and then Drake came out of nowhere when Snoop was done with his verse. I can't remember how Snoop ended his verse, but then Drake just came out of nowhere. Yeah, that's the truth. I'm definitely about to come around the lane gang and let my fucking bowels move. Shitting on you niggas from a whole different altitude. High up in the skies like I'm Howard Hughes. The first one really only took me an hour or two. The next one is really about to bring out a coward in you. He just going to talking about how but now we gotta wait another fucking week because Taylor Swift is the new top, and if you want to drop, she gotta approve. This girl really finna make you act like you not in a feud. Like, that was the line right there. That killed me. God damn it, because Kendrick really did not drop until after Taylor Swift dropped. He really did not drop his diss tracks till after Taylor Swift had dropped her album, right? Okay, so boom. So I went to jail, right? Yeah, shocker. I'm a degenerate. Taylor Swift dropped her album after, and I want to say after the first week of the album, I think that bitch did like 2 mil, like literally. Kendrick drops his responses. Now I'm in jail when Kendrick drops his responses. I was going for a minute too, like, oh God, I'm a degenerate. Oh, I'm a degenerate. But Kendrick drops his diss tracks while I'm in jail, and you know, like I'm calling my woman, I'm calling my brother. Well, she ain't tell me nothing. But I'm calling my brother Maul, and Maul telling me what's going on. You know, it's like my only sanity in that cell trying to. But Jamal was telling me what's going on, and he tells me everything I need to listen to when I get out. I got out of jail like 5 in the morning now. When I got out at 5 in the morning. Walking down the road, and I took my time to listen to these tracks. Euphoria, that is the best track to come from Kendrick. And if I was to redo the re-ranking of the diss tracks, then it would still be Push Ups, Tailor Made, but then it would be Euphoria, and then Like That. Because Euphoria, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to hear from Kendrick. Like, that's what I want to hear. Because you tried somebody who stood up to you, and then you was like, okay, let me show you that I'm better than you. I don't want to get into Euphoria, or I'm not going to break it down. If you want a full breakdown on what any of these disses mean, literally go and watch What's the Dirt. I think he got a whole video on all of them. I'll put it right here. What's the Dirt will tell you what everything means. Euphoria was the best diss track to come from Kendrick. The next one he had was called Meet the Grams, which is a flat out lie. And then it's another one called 616 in LA. The beat is straight gas on that one, but the song is ass. And then the last one, and I'm gonna tell you, Not Like Us. I fucking hate that fucking song. I hate that song with a passion. Like, I do not like the song. The song is very whack to me. It's just horrible. Must have done the beat. Like, and oh my God, I probably would have liked the song if the internet did not blow it out of proportion. Like, the internet made that song way worse than what the song already is to me. I don't like the song, and this is not me just being, oh, I'm a Drake fan, so I don't like the song because of Drake. Damn, that air is loud. I mean, thank God for it, because it's hot outside, but that air is loud. But Not Like Us, I hate that song the most. I would quite literally take Meet the Grams over Not Like Us. All because of the internet. The internet made that song the worst song ever. I remember seeing a video, I think it was in like a coffee shop or something like that. They playing Not Like Us and all of that shit. I'm like, a lot of people saying that. I'm like, okay. Then I remember seeing another video, I think, this had to have been an edited video. There's no way this is real. Talking about Drake was performing and his DJ had played Not Like Us. Like, you can tell that this isn't real because Drake is off tour. So who the fuck had the time? Well, a lot of people got all types of time. You know, you get paid to make them videos. Like, you really get paid a lot of money. But Not Like Us has to be the worst diss track out of all of the diss tracks that came back and forth. I don't care for 616 in LA. Like I said, I like the beat on it. I really don't care for Meet the Grams, because Meet the Grams is just a big ass song full of lies. And then next thing you know, I have to talk about Drake. And Drake lied in his tracks as well. Well, he lied in one of his tracks. And I don't know what track he lied in. I think it was The Hearts Part 6. But let's go down Drake's list. Push Ups, Tailor Made, Family Matters, The Hearts Part 6. The Hearts Part 6. Let me talk about that real quick. The Hearts Part 6 is actually a very great song. Very well written, very well spoken on the track. Like, Drake really spitting on that motherfucker. But a lot of people don't like The Hearts Part 6, and I'm confused as to why they don't like The Hearts Part 6. Because at the end of the day, the nigga's spitting. Just like how y'all want to say that Kendrick is spitting, so is Drake. Drake is spitting, and in all honesty, personally, both of these boys lyrically, their swords are fucking sharp. Like, lyrically, both swords are sharp. So it's like two of the top samurais in Japan, I should say, in feudal Japan, two top samurais going against each other. Those strikes are telegraphed. Like, each strike is telegraphed. Every time they say something, it cuts. But they're not cutting each other, they're wearing down each other's swords. And no diddy when I say it like that. but they're wearing down each other's swords. And then you got so many of the gay jokes popping up on Drake nowadays and stuff like that. And I be sitting here looking at it like, now y'all trying to call the man gay, and we clearly see the man ain't gay at all. And then you got the P3DO jokes popping up about Drake, and it's like, and again, the biggest thing for me is that I'm not entrenched in celebrity lives, so I don't know what niggas be doing in their spare time. But I don't see Drake as a P3DO, because like whenever I see what he's doing when it comes down to women, these be some bitches and these be some bad bitches. Like, what was the college? Was it Mikey Dade or whatever? Mikey Dade. Drake took that nigga mama on the date, rented out the was it the Maple Leafs? I think it was the Toronto Maple Leafs freaking stadium, and a nigga flew a drone in that bitch. And there's a picture of Drake. He just sitting there. Like, it was funny, but that was a thing though. Like, and I'm looking at it like, okay, so why do y'all? Whatever, it don't matter to me. I don't care. So when it come down to Drake, and I listen to people talk about it, like for instance, like Jamari. I love Jamari's videos. Like, I watch Jamari every time Jamari put a new video out. I'm watching it. But then I always like the video, but then I tend to dislike the videos when he's talking about Drake, because like I always look at Jamari to talk about videos. Well, when he does his videos, and you know, it's his channel, so he can do whatever the fuck he want to do. But when I'm looking at Jamari, I'm looking at him to give an unbiased opinion on a lot of stuff. I'm looking at him to give an unbiased opinion, right? But he has a completely biased opinion towards Drake. So then, like, my biggest thing when I'm looking at people talk about the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar beef, and everybody saying Kendrick wins, or Kendrick is better, or whatever, it's like, is Kendrick actually better? Did Kendrick actually win? Or is your actual opinion is Kendrick won, you prefer Kendrick over Drake? Because if you can just be honest with yourself and say it like that, that makes a whole lot of sense to me, and it makes it easier for the people, it makes it better for the listeners, dog. Because y'all sitting here trying to make it seem like Kendrick buried Drake, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. It rocks my fucking world, because at the end of the day, Kendrick seriously didn't beat him. It's not like Drake was putting out horrible diss tracks. Like, think about when Drake versus Meek Mill had happened. Meek Mill had put out a bunch of hot garbage. First of all, Drake put out Charged Up, right? The literal next day, he put out Back to Back. On top of this man, in a hotel, literally a floor above him, playing Back to Back. He's quite literally playing Back to Back on the floor above you. And then we all know the legendary lines: Twitter fingers turn to trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers. Getting body by a singing nigga. Is that a world tour? Is that a girl tour? Shout out to all my boss bitch and wife and niggas. Like, it was so many disgustingly scathing lines in that song. And then, you know, he has his response. Did it come from quitting? I don't even remember, because I remember when I heard it, I was like, this shit's so boring. It took him way too long to respond. So like, you can give Kendrick the benefit of the doubt, because Kendrick is a way better rapper than me. But on the other side, Drake is a way better rapper than me too. Like, I guess in that situation, Meek Mill was dead before it even started. I'm sorry to say it that way, but Meek Mill was kind of dead in the fucking water, and there was nothing he could do to, you know, help his case when it came down to him versus Drake. The Pusha T beef, that actually was a better testament for Drake, and then people say he lost that beef. The only reason why people say he lost the beef was quite literally because Pusha T exposed the fact that Drake had a son. Okay, that's cool. I ain't mad at that at all. But then you go and you move a little bit further into the beat, but then you gotta listen to the diss tracks that Drake did. I mean, if you listen to the Duppy freestyle, Drake fucking worked. Like, he worked in that song. Duppy is a way better track than Story Right Now. Like, Story Right Now was ass. But then you got that whole thing, like, and again, this isn't me being a biased Drake fan. This is actually me spitting my full-blown opinion as how music sounds to me. This is me, like, giving you my full opinion. Like, that's with the way it sounds to me. I'm giving you like an honest opinion of how I really feel when it comes down to the diss track. Because it's not like I'm sitting here saying that Kendrick put out bad diss tracks or whatever. Like I said, Euphoria is his best outing with a diss track. Not Like Us is the worst, and the internet makes it the worst. Because I can't even enjoy it, like, me wanting to enjoy the song, I can't. But like, Kendrick has a lot of lines in that song that make me hate the song even more. Any damn way. Like that whole A minor shit, he like held the note A minor. Like, he just held the damn note. And it just pissed me off, and then it's like, he's like, let me hear you say OV ho. I'm like, oh, fuck you, nigga. I got OVO tattooed on my damn leg, and that shit is real, so fuck you, nigga. But then there was another line he said in the song, I don't remember it. It was just like, Not Like Us. I really hated that song. I really hated that song. If I'm gonna pick any diss track from Kendrick, it's gonna be Euphoria. And the reason why I don't really put Not Like Us is because Not Like Us I wouldn't even say that Not Like Us was like a full-blown shot at just Drake. It was really a full-blown shot at freaking J. Cole too. But then Kendrick had a line when he was like, nigga, Prince outlived Mike Jack. And then Drake had a line that was even better when he said, what's a prince to a king? He a son. That's very true. And at the end of the day, Mike was the literal freaking king. Prince was not. So you have to, again, I ask, when you are talking about the beef and who won, are you saying Kendrick won because you believe in your heart, in your soul, that Kendrick actually won the beef? Or are you saying that Kendrick won because you don't like Drake? So what is the real reason as to why you say Kendrick win? Because I say Drake wins because in order for y'all to even be where y'all are, like with Rick Ross for instance, this is your highest charting song ever without Drake, but the song is about Drake. You see what I'm saying? Like, you had to diss Drake to get a high charting song. A$AP Rocky, Drake puts you on with the song Fucking Problem. Kendrick Lamar, Drake put you on in the rap industry in general and put you on his tour, a world tour, something you never done before. You was rapping out of that store in California with Section 80, which beautiful project, but you rapping out of that store. And then he puts you on, he also puts you on the album. He puts you on the Take Care album on the song Buried Alive. That's another snippet Drake put out, the Buried Alive Part 2. I would rather you listen to that for yourself. Listen to Kendrick's Buried Alive, which is on the Take Care album, and then listen to Drake do it. And it's freaking beautiful. I love it. Like, I love the shots that's being sent. But then, like, yeah, with Kendrick, he puts you on. He puts you on his album, which is a massive album, which gives you even more credibility when you drop your album. And then you put out your best album ever, which is Good Kid, Mad City. And if I am mistaken, Drake is on that album on one of the biggest songs on the album, which is called Poetic Justice. But I want to say that's Good Kid, Mad City. I do not think that's To Pimp a Butterfly. I'm serious. Hold on. Poetic Justice is on Good Kid, Mad City, which is your first album, which is your best album. You needed Drake. You literally needed Drake. I'll give you another example. I remember that song Control by Big Sean that he put out there, and Kendrick went and dissed everybody in the industry on that song. Again, Kendrick is good at creating moments, but then like his battle testament is not really that good. His battle pedigree ain't that good to me. But he creates moments. I remember him and Big Sean did another track together. This is one where I say Kendrick got washed by Big Sean on. It's called Holy Key on the DJ Khaled album, Holy Key. But I have to say, Big Sean washed Kendrick on that thing, but a lot of people who prefer Kendrick over Big Sean, they said Kendrick had the better verse. I have to give that to Big Sean. And again, this ain't even taking no dig at Kendrick. I love the song in general. I love Kendrick Part 2, but to me, Big Sean had the better part. So when you sit down and you really look at it, and it's like, y'all say Kendrick won. Are y'all saying Kendrick won because he actually won, or are y'all saying Kendrick won because y'all would prefer him to be over Drake? Like, I remember I was on, what even drove me to make this video today was the simple fact that I was on Facebook, I think, and some girl said that, not some girl, some post said Kendrick knocked Drake off the charts completely. I'ma screenshot it and I'ma put it on the screen right there. And pause it and read it. Well, I'm gonna read it to you right now. The post says, and I quote, Kendrick made Drake delete tailor-made freestyle. That was never a song that you could actually even download. Like, I listen to it on SoundCloud and I listen to it every fucking day. So quit lying, bitch. Said deleted The Hearts Part 6. That's proof that The Hearts Part 6 is still up. It's on YouTube. And that was a song that you could never download. You had to listen to it on YouTube or SoundCloud. Fell off the Billboard charts completely for the first time ever in a decade. That's a fucking lie. That was the biggest lie. And that's not even the last thing they said. That was just the biggest lie ever. Because Drake will never ever fall off the fucking Billboard charts. Like, I don't ever see Drake falling off the Billboard charts until he completely stops doing music in general and doesn't put something out. And then on top of that, I still don't see the nigga falling off the Billboard charts. He's gonna have a legacy like Michael Jackson, the way he's always gonna be there. So when the fuck did he fall off the Billboard charts? Please let me know. Because I also remember, for the first time ever in history, Drake got eclipsed by Kendrick on Spotify as the most streamed hip-hop artist ever. Well, no, the most streamed hip-hop artist at the time. Kendrick held that title for 24 fucking hours. Literally the next day, Drake was right back on top of him. On top of push-ups, eclipsing like that. Your number ones come from you dissing somebody who has been at the top for so damn long that when you diss them, it made a moment that puts you in a better light. Just like with the whole Metro Boomin and Future shit. Y'all album went #1, but y'all album only went #1 because of y'all dissing Drake. The song Like That is the reason the album went #1. And then the second album, like, you know, everybody's like, okay, so this is gonna be a whole thing. Cause it was like, y'all niggas really assembled like 20 niggas versus Drake on an album, and that's how y'all second album had chart out. And Drake addressed that. What the fuck is this, a 20v1 nigga? Like, do y'all not see what I'm trying to say here? Y'all can call me biased if y'all want to. I don't care. I'm giving y'all the most unbiased version of this. Like, I'm literally giving y'all the most unbiased version of how I really feel about who's actually better. However, the last one that they said was the song calling him a P3 deal is still #1. That's a lie. Like That is not #1. Oh no, not Like That. What is shit called? Not Like Us. That shit is not #1. So it was #1 for a good little minute, but it's not #1 anymore. And they just made this post. I was just confused because Push Ups definitely was still on the charts. With that song, Family Matters was still on the charts. And then, you know, he jumped on the charts again with the Sexy Red track. And like, he was like, if I'm not mistaken, Drake said he was going on vacation after For All the Dogs. In the tour was over, he was going on vacation. And now he's back in the booth. He was responding to Kendrick, yada yada yada. All I'm saying is, be subjective and tell the truth about how you really damn feel versus saying somebody won and the reason they won is because, hell, the reason they won is because they were just better. No, the fuck they wasn't. Kendrick literally wasn't. Kendrick did not really out-rap Drake in this whole beef, and that's my opinion though. Like, I don't like, however y'all feel is how y'all feel. But personally, me, I'm literally hip hop to the core. I prefer lyricism over all of the music that has come out lately. And the only person I will listen to out of all the new waves of rappers, the only person I will listen to literally is Rod Wave. I don't really listen to the rest of these niggas. I do not like them. I don't like the mumbling. I don't like the whining. I don't care for a lot of rappers nowadays. But I've always loved Drake, Cole, and Kendrick. I'm not giving a biased opinion because Drake is one of my favorites. I'm giving my honest opinion that Drake won the war, hell, even the battle, but Drake won the war because in order for y'all to be who y'all are today now, in order for y'all to have charted the way y'all charted now, in order for y'all to have the streams and the numbers, y'all needed Drake to get there. Y'all needed Drake to get there. Drake even said, I know my picture on the wall when y'all cook up. That means you niggas is in that bitch looking at a picture of Drake and drawing motivation from the picture. So, again, did Kendrick actually win? Or do y'all just want Kendrick to be the winner? So basically, we just say Drake came into a losing battle because people prefer Kendrick to be the winner. But don't be like, oh, Drake just fucking lost. Drake really didn't lose. And that's just my opinion though. And I'm one person. I believe Drake won because in order for y'all to get what y'all needed, y'all still needed him. So Drake won. Y'all need him to succeed. He won. And that's my thoughts. I'm actually going to be making a video on what happened and how I ended up in jail and all of that crazy shit. And I'll also be making another video. And I'm trying to get consistent with the video making. It's just not easy when you're dealing with what I'm dealing with. My son is going to be with me for the summer. I'm trying to be a dad to the other kids, and you know, like, it's life be fucking lifing, okay? But I also want to say congratulations to my baby sister for graduating high school with this beautiful photo, and I'm gonna throw up caps in the air. And with all of that being said, I'm out. These hands is all a trophy, baby, it ain't no mystery. Got the best BBL in history. This cake will make you show up. I know you've seen this glow up as BBL Chris. BBL music. BBL.